Kind of painstaking, but that's what I got so far. And I think for supports, the next spacers will be supports down to the floor, because that's wide enough for whatever pipe I'm going to run the heat through to sit under. And I just got to figure my lengths. I'm going to run them a little long. I think this is going to get cut on an angle a little here. This part just barely fits in with the lip that's on the inside. I didn't think we were going to see a sunrise this morning, and well, I guess really it's not, but it is. Not much of one, but it's pretty nonetheless. Quit raining a little bit ago and blue sky happened. So there's the start to our day.
I'm gonna piss some cows off. So we just fed them their bales for tonight, but I'm gonna sneak through here. Okay, I'm just peeking through, you know, between the tin and the boards and looking out the other gate over there. And this cow, right there, the schooner cut in the middle. That one right there. When you look at her head on, she looks like 3 Mack trucks. I shit you not. She looks like 3 freaking Mack trucks wide. Like, look at that. Like, look at that chub. Like, geez, girl. Like, are you carrying twins? And then you have these girls that they're not as wide. Oh, look. There's Ruby. My Ruby girl. But I swear to God, the other day when I saw her, she did not look like that. I texted Dad that, and he started laughing at me. And it looks like my boys already beat me to moving. Well, looks like Blue beat me for moving the 2-year-olds out of my way. I don't think they're going to be very patient today, because they actually finally just finished their bale this morning. And to think my girls were going to be patient this morning. This is just crap.
I got that far before lunch. A lot of cutting, a lot of head scratching. We fed. I got me some video. She's trying to get it sent to me now. Hopefully, if I remembered right, I put it in the right place. Otherwise, you know, you either saw it before this part or later. I'm trying to put the blocks just set down just a little bit. That way there's nothing sticking up. And trying to keep it nice and even. But, you know, anytime you rip one, they tend to get their own little thing going. I've been straightening as I go. And there's what I did for the legs. I only got one, since I've only got the 1 1/4 nails that I'm using, I only got one nail in here, just hold it lined up. I am going to cut a couple blocks. Put like that, gives it a little more surface to rest on, and tie that together. But I think that's all tied in pretty good. Not going anywhere. Hopefully. Yeah, now I got to turn it over and do the other side of that. So, fun! Oh, did I mention that? And yeah, I'm trying to keep all that in line, and that actually worked out just right. That was a cutoff. I had 2 of those, had to cut 2 to match it, but you know, we're just a butt hair wider. And these I haven't measured to put them in place. I've only just set them in. The only thing I've actually measured, besides getting a guess length that I know has to trim, because I got to trim corners to make it fit the radius better, I actually measured in for this block. Otherwise, I've been, finger width or stand the block on the end and go, yep, that's where it needs to be. But as it comes around the corner, the angle changes. And I mean, this next one's probably going to be there. I don't know yet. I'll get the other 2 feet on and open it back up and set it in and see where it is. And then, like I say, the fun part's going to be figuring where they get trimmed, because I don't want to leave a big gap anywhere. Calves are just like their mamas. You never know where they're going to stick their feet. No, it's not done yet. It's sitting a little high. I'm supposed to sit down inside. I got some trimming to do. My notches hopefully line up close enough. I may have to trim a little. And this is about how far it's going to be. I don't think that'll be a problem because it's not much different than that. On the ends, though, I'll probably cut a few blocks and fill in a couple of spots. But, obviously I got to trim this so it'll go in. Far one, just got to take the corner off it. I might just do that with a flap disc. Easier than trying to cut it off. And we get down to this end, and yep, I got to do some cutting. Yay! At least I got the right tools to do it with. Laying there on the floor. And we got a pretty good guess on what I needed for materials when I brought it all in and ripped it all down, because that's what I got left. That and a little piece there. And there's 2 pieces there. I might be able to use those. They were a little deficient. Like they got rubbed against something or whatever. But look down there, you can see the feet. And before I took it out this last time to finish up, I kind of pushed down and it kind of gave more than I wanted it to. So there's you can see, there. I laid a strip underneath here and it's nailed into every single one of these. And then I ripped one and laid half of it here and half of it here all the way through. That should hold it. I mean, me leaning on that with one hand might be more than the calf. I don't know. If they're in here, they ain't gonna be that big. And I was leaning on it pretty hard, and that's like, nah, let's just put a piece under, keep it from flexing. So, yeah, now the painstaking issue of trying to figure out where it needs to be, which would have been a whole lot easier to do had I done the floor first and then put the top on. But that's not how I did it. Hopefully I'll get that floor done tonight. Maybe even show the finished version. I hope. And that's 3-inch. Has holes. They're not 180 from each other. And I'm looking at these. These are actually drilled holes. So I got a feeling this is something that Dad and I made. I mean, if these were 180 apart, it'd be over here. So I'm going to put it so that's the top, which is going to, put the air up about where I hope it's going to need to be. And that being 3-inch should be easier to make an adapter for the end to slip a hairdryer in. And being 3 inches big enough that if that ain't going to work out, I can slip anything in the end. Hopefully. Oh, focus, dang. Hurt my eyeballs looking at that. So, that's what I got for now. I told Becky I needed a hairdryer, and she says, well, Tylen's got one in the house. I want a cheap, easy one. See if it works. Well, it was cheap. I don't know if it's going to work. So, I don't know what I'm going to do there yet. But I think a hairdryer should be enough. I mean, hell, they're, 1200 watt or whatever, and a regular heater's 1500 watt. It's not far from it. It should move enough air. They got a pretty good fan on them. Anyway, I'm going to get to doing some marking here and see if I can get it cut so it'll drop in. and hopefully have it setting in place. Then find a hole saw so I can bore a hole in the end to put that tube in. I'm not sure what I'm going to do at the other end. I may just put a tab or something to hold it in place. I don't know. We will see. Time will tell. You know how that goes. Isn't that pretty? Looks like an old shower floor. Could be. It's all cedar. I don't know if it'll go in the other way, but I marked that end. That's where the heat's going to come in. I had to take the flap disc and go around both ends and bevel the ends so it would fit all the way down. I set it in and it was an inch from being down. It's like, oh, that's all right. And I don't know if I'm going to worry about these little spots. I mean, if a calf gets over far enough to get its foot in there, and it's got to be a small foot, then there's issues. Really, that one, those two, and one over there are probably the worst spots. These others are filled in better. See, heat end. Anyway, that was a lot of, first part with the flap disc was pretty good. Second time around with the flap disc is filled up, so it was a lot of burning. Smells good in here. Smells like burning cedar. So now I'm going to see what I got to do to get the tube inside it. Looks like I'm done for the night. I just smeared some stuff on. That's the cutout from over there to cap this end. And I think what I'm going to do, I may end up drilling that hole out bigger. I'm going to put a bolt in this end that'll go into that hole just to keep it lined up, keep it down tight, because the floor, put that off, took it there, and it'll hold that floor flat. And I want it to come out easy, so what I might do is be really tricky and drill another hole where the top is. Yeah, this would be the top. Put another hole here, so I got 2 bolts and that'll line it up. But I just tried the stuff we were going to glue those on with. It's kind of interesting. It started out coming out kind of liquidy and then it changed. This stuff. It says it grabs it instantly. Well, it seemed to. Since it wasn't, I'd fall right in there, so I just took my pliers and I went around and tweaked those 6 or 8 spots. I tweaked in so it would set up on top, which it's got room to do that, so it'll be fine. And I think to hold it in after I get done, I got 2 holes that are in the bell down there. That's hopefully not going to be an issue. But when I get it shoved in, I'll drill a hole in that flat. We'll just drop a pin in. Hopefully it doesn't get too warm. We'll see. And I may not have to do anything. I have no idea. We'll find out. But there, I'm done for the day. Thailand just called me. She made it home and checked on Champagne. And the poor little girl's still pretty sick. 103.4 or 6, whichever it was. I don't remember what she said, but and the lungs still sound like shit. So that means since the Vatril didn't do it, she's going to get a new floor. So, yeah. I mean, the calf seems to be doing all right, but, when they can't breathe and they sound like shit and they got a temp, it just ain't right. And that's sitting there just how it goes in. You can see the nice colored marks here from beveling that with the flap disc. It's together. It's going to work one way or the other. Now, as long as they don't piss shit in it, we won't have to take it apart. But even if they do, that's why I want to make that so it comes out easy, because then there's a drain. You can take the thing out, just hose it right out the hole. That's my plan anyway. I guess in the morning I'll clean my mess up. That's what that's for. So anyway, hope you all had a good day. If feed truck was supposed to be here today, and driver was supposed to call me with an ETA, and I have not seen the truck, and I have not seen the driver, and it is after 5 o'clock. So focus. Here, we'll change it. There you look at focus on that. Ah! So I guess I'm gonna send me a text to the sales rep and say, hey, haven't heard nothing, haven't seen nothing. Tell me when I'm gonna have feed, because the bin is clear empty. There's enough inside we can get maybe 2 days. Yeah, maybe 3, but as long as we get it this week. But we're, scheduled for today and it ain't here and I haven't heard anything. I kind of want to know when it's going to be here. Maybe they dropped the ball and didn't even get it made. In which case, we're going to be probably if they didn't make it and they make it tomorrow, by the time it's cooled down and brought in, we will be out. So, yay.